Is this thing on? Good morning. Good morning. Oh, I missed you, Boston. Hey, Boston, what's up? Good to see you. Rebecca cannot stay, but have a great day. Thanks. That was nice of you to drop that. Thank you. That positive energy right there. Metal Mama from the hood, what's up? From my neck of the woods. How you doing? Night Shadow, hello. Patricia, good to see you. How are you doing? Jinx, what's up? Yep, drinking my coffee black. Sometimes I'll put 2 sugars in it. Depends on how strong I want to make it. I used to make it like syrup. Hey, Miss Thang, what's up? Good morning. Mandy, how are you? Judy, good morning. Olivia, good morning. Beach, what's up? Peace. Unmasked Truth, good morning. Susie, good morning. Jari, good morning to you. Hey, Steffa. Danielle, what's up? Michelle, how's things on your side of the pond? Yeah, lawyer's gonna lawyer. Lawyer's gonna law. Lawyer's gonna lawyer. 517, what's up? Hey, Marbles, you feeling better? I hope so. Red faced head case. I like that. What up? Beach says strong black coffee is my life force. It'll do the trick. Honestly, if I don't have a cup of coffee in the morning, I have like this cloud on my head. Coffee just kind of comes through and swishes it out of the mind. The little pep me up. Hey, Kevin, good morning. Willow Rain in the house. Uncle Traveling Matt. I like to make my hot chocolate milk into syrup. It's a banger. That does sound bomb. How do you do that? You just melt like. How would you do that? Cold brew. Yeah, I used to work at this office. They had this really bomb cold brew, and they would have it shipped in every day. Man, it was like endless coffee. And it was just freezing cold right out the tap. Efficiency on tap. Beach says, I love Peruvian roast. If anyone tried that. Yeah, I've tried Peruvian. Marble says, well, I tripped over a wheelchair, so my foot and leg kind of messed up. Yikes. Yeah, as I'm getting older, I'm a lot more careful with my ankles. I'm noticing that they're not as tough as they used to be. I don't know how I never like snapped them, knock on wood. I mean, I won't get a headache, Marbles, but I just won't feel like, oh, what a great day, the great outdoors, It'd be like more like, okay, I wonder what today's going to bring. A little bit of skepticism in there. Goes from optimism to skepticism. Uncle Traveling Matt says you got to put a ton of sugar in it. I guess that'll do the trick. Carol, hey, good to see you. It's a cardinal principle of the U.S. system of justice that every person accused of a crime is presumed to be innocent. Woo! Sorry. That's a good. You're from Australia, right? Man, that's a good one of them good Australian jokes. Innocent, presumed to be innocent. Ooh. It's like I can't even say it without laughing. Until guilt is established beyond reasonable doubt. Yeah. We don't want to open that can of worms. Wake and bake first thing with coffee. Yep. I call it God mode, where you feel like you're just kind of like vibrating in a good way, not in the gutter way. That was for those of you whose minds are there. French roast with cream for me. One a.m. on a Friday, 20 degrees Celsius and 82 degrees humidity. What's Celsius? I don't think I've ever heard that word before. What'd you call me? Reminds me of that one guy. He called me meters. So what'd you call me? He said kilometers or some shit. I was like, we speak English around here, buddy. Any punishment comes after a fair, legal, and just trial. When you are found guilty, he hasn't been tried and convicted yet, but he has been in prison this whole time, apparently in appalling conditions. Oh, so you feel bad for him. That's the purpose of this image here. So people who are triggered by emotional things like, oh my God, what about the humanity? Well, this is all a farce. He's had plenty of time to realize, what type of manipulation will benefit his future. He could be innocent. That's not my point. Yeah, he should be, innocent until proven guilty. My point is that he's just appealing to people. He wants sympathy, which will benefit his case. It seems to be a lot of people out there who want to help benefit him. I don't get that. What's up with you guys? Why are you helping Richard Allen? Now, I don't know his guilt. Of course, he could be innocent, but there's a lot of stuff out there that is showing that he could very well be guilty. Why are you helping him? Why are you sending things to his defense? Why are you trying to convince or help his defense convince judges and jurors that he's not the killer? Why are you doing that? Who are you? What would motivate you to do something when you can't prove he's innocent? Or maybe you can, because you damn well better be able to. He could be the killer of Abby and Libby, and you're trying to help him go free? Man, talk about the craziest stuff I've ever heard in regards to this case. You have social media people like me who don't know shit about shit sending information to Richard Allen's defense to assist them. And I think even private investigators and stuff. What are you doing? I'm going to ask those people to take a quick second to just stop what you're doing. Go over there to the nearest mirror, take a deep look at that person. I want you to ask yourself, what the hell am I doing? And then if you still feel the need, each to his own. Growing crazy. What's up? Eminem in the house. Tell you it was me, Miss Thing. I was trying to get your attention. Here we go. RA looking a bit scuffed, I see. Well, he's looking a bit cuffed from what I see. Doo-doo. You guys like that? Did you catch that? The treatment that Richard Allen is getting behind bars speaks volumes towards the corruption of the CC Sheriff's Department, preventing him from being moved to Cass County. Yeah, we can talk about that. We'll approach it open-mindedly. I don't agree with that comment, but we'll try to break it down. Maybe you'll change my mind. Let's see. Hey, Purdue. What it do, Purdue? It is a very bad joke. Yeah, presumed innocent. Like, that's the law. But it's just not the way things work around here anymore. Like the Constitution, it's under attack over here, unfortunately. But that's why I say it's just going to open up a can of worms. Outback, what's up? Morning, everyone. I drink my coffee like our sleuth, and I drink my tea with lots of sugar. I can get down with some tea. Is it Cass County that they want to move him to, not Carroll County? I'm not sure. I thought it was Carroll County because I think, isn't Tobe like running the jail system now that he's not the sheriff or whatever? And I don't think he wants him. I don't think that he can protect him there. And that's the whole point of where he's at now. He needs to be under like constant supervision. So I don't care how much he cries. And yes, they better be treating him humane. He's innocent until proven guilty. But they are. I mean, look at him. They opened up his shirt. You can see like whoever's taking that photo went and like opened his shirt. Can you guys see that? You can see the hand on the left and then the hand on the right opened it. Like, this is a photo op right here. Okay, now if they go and they prove like he's being mistreated, like the guards are like physically assaulting him, he has no mat on the ground, he's sleeping on the cold ground, things like that. Like, yeah, but they have to prove that. None of that stuff is happening. They're going to keep him nice and healthy. They better. He is a prisoner of war. We don't fight against flesh and blood here. This dude is a true evil monster, if innocent. So yeah, he definitely is a 517 Kells. As my grandma would have said, Richard Allen looks like 10 miles of dirt road. To me, that translates as country as hell. He's innocent. Katie is the BG. Really? What makes you think that? This is one thing I wanted to talk about as well. And I think it kind of spawned from watching Frank and the professor and Ruckus talk about the ski mask the other day. And it got me thinking about how dangerous, well, I wouldn't say dangerous, more reckless. Um, and I think this is where I'm coming from. I think this is my angle for a lot of people. They're like, I don't know what your angle is, Sleuth. I think it's reckless to dismiss things. You know what I mean? I think it's just as reckless to dismiss things as it is to push things as facts, especially when you can't prove or there's a lot of information leaning one way, but you can't prove either way. I think it'd be reckless to dismiss those things as just as much as kind of pushing things as fact when the information just doesn't make it so. So to say Richard Allen is innocent is kind of like the same thing. You know, that's very reckless. How are you going to, he's arrested, his home was searched. You have all of Carroll County ready to prosecute this man. All their names are on the line, you know, their jobs or careers. Why would they proceed against him like that if they didn't have enough evidence? And if they have enough evidence, you must have some really, 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 really good evidence, right? Like some knock you off your feet evidence to say something like that, right? We are not yet clear on the information surrounding the arrest, so I don't know where to land my hat. I do want to say he has more than Abby and Libby. If he's guilty, maybe you think there's more victims. I don't know how I feel about Richard Allen. I know he's got to be involved. You know, with everything that I've seen, they're going to prove that he was involved, but I don't know him. I don't know what his role was. All we know is he potentially is the guy that's on the bridge and the guy that sits down the hill and possibly another person who was seen on 300 as muddy and bloody. That could be him. Now there's an hour and 45 minutes in between and other people's that are suspected. So I don't know what his involvement is. For all I know, he tried to stop it. You know, witness said, "Hey, you look like you got in a fight." The guy looked like he got in a fight. He was muddy and bloody. That was my opinion. Okay, maybe he got the girls down the hill, got them across the creek with whatever ruse they were using, and there happened to be somebody waiting for them or assisting down there who became violent. Maybe he wasn't for all that. Maybe he started fighting this guy. So maybe he was in a fight. Who's that, Lux? Shout out to Arch Lux. Good to see you. S. Miller, Shadowbox. He was eating just fine after taking 2 lives. That's what I'm saying. What I see, if anything, is everything that this man has feared for the last 5.5 years. You know, you remember when he got all scared, his wife snuck up on him on the car and he jumped. He's like, oh shit. He's like, oh, I thought that was Doug Carter. He thought fucking Sergeant Holman was going to drag him out of the window, shatter the windshield, and drag him out by his neck. So everything that he's feared, you know, because even if they didn't know who he was, you know, they've been talking to him. You know, Doug Carter, you could be in this room. Well, actually, He could have been in the room because he lived um, across the street from where they were giving the presser. You know, he was definitely watching that presser. Doug Carter says, what does he say? You have a an ounce of conscience left or something? That's what I see on his face. Let me pull that picture up. If he's guilty, he's like, damn, everything that I feared is coming to reality, and it doesn't feel so good. Beach Fairy says, plus it's not an unbiased report on his conditions, etc. This all came from his defense. They're going to make it look and sound as good as they can. Yeah, that's their job. They're doing a great job. They're playing the game and they're pushing it as far as they can to one side because they know that the other side is going to have to start yanking it back. Now, they want that to fall somewhere on, it's a tug of war. There's a line in the middle of this back and forth pulling. Now they want what they want to land just a little bit over on their side. They want that edge and they want that benefit. But you can't have that. It's kind of like when you're trying to haggle with somebody in a sale. You ever been to like a pawn shop or trading, I don't know, basketball cards or whatever? You always start real high. So you start high, and the guy that you're trying to haggle with starts low. Surely enough, you guys start working yourself towards the middle, and then somebody's going to break. You're all going to make a good deal, but somebody's just going to make just a slightly better deal. That's just the name of the game. Base girl, what's up? Richard Allen has been known to gain and lose weight all the time. I really don't think this is all that strange for him. Yeah, somebody made a good point that it could just be like an episode. Maybe he's just having an episode, and it could be similar to what he was going through at the time of the crime. If Richard Allen is starving himself and not changing clothes and not bathing, that is a Richard Allen, and he is using it to get closer to his family. I don't think, honestly, I think he's been communicating with his family just fine. I think there's a possibility that they knew, and they know his involvement wasn't like they knew he wasn't a lone wolf, and they knew the entirety of his involvement in that crime. Maybe he's afraid. Maybe he told his family, like, look, I was with this guy and this happened. And they're like, what the hell were you doing with that guy? That guy's a killer. And he's like, yes, he's the one. And he's like, he kicked my ass. He did all this. And he's like, he's the one. They're like, well, you can't say anything. He's like, I know. He told me he would kill all of you. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We know nothing. So we can't go around dismissing things, and we can't go around verifying things. We got to play a tug of war with our own mind, really. You don't want to go too far left. You don't want to go too far right. Susie, hello. I agree. It's a farce. The photo is meant to look horrible. Defense tactic. Yeah. Good job on them. I mean, what is this on his shirt? What is that? It looks black. They took away the beers. Weight loss happens with no beer. Yeah, I did hear a few reports that he liked to drink. His neighbor said he would just sit out front drinking beer. The thing is, I don't think that they can protect him. That's the reason he's where he's at. He's fine. Plus, I think where he's at, they can observe him. There might be cameras and stuff, staff that is hired, to check on these people. Salute, didn't the Patty say no stone left unturned, yet don't touch that stone? Yeah, touch every stone, but you don't want to go. Have you ever seen, what is it? Tropic Thunder? And I don't want to use the word, but he goes, you don't want to go full, you know what I'm saying? Today, you don't know what's going to happen. But you just don't want to go all the way, you know. We're here to understand. We're not here to play judge, jury, and executioner, especially if you don't have the proof. So it goes both ways. Dismissing information and then trying to present information as fact. They're both, in my opinion, equally destructive. If you're like me and I'm just trying to understand, that's it. I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to be proactive for my own family. And I've learned so much. And I've taken steps since then, proactive steps to try to be a little safer, I think. Arch says the public has no duty to consider him innocent. Exactly. I'm free to think as I want. And I don't think that he is innocent. The part that I want to discuss is how guilty is he? And I can't say without a shadow of a doubt that he is guilty. I can't even say he's 100% that guy on the bridge. Do I think that's him? Most likely. Can I say 100%? No, because the video is not clear and I wasn't there. Triggered by anyone being inhumanely treated. Well, you have to prove it first, Carol. You haven't even seen the evidence. You just saw with the defense photo and you've already made up your mind. To me, that's triggered. No offense. I'm just saying I was triggered by it too. But as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, okay, now I know. I actually was feeling bad for the guy, I was like, oh shit. But then I started thinking about it, I was like, well, what's going on? Oh, well, it's the defense. They're not going to get a lot of time to go out there. They're going to try to get a lot accomplished. Let's get this photo op. These are the things that we want to accomplish while we're visiting you here. We think it'll benefit you and us. Yeah, so that's what that photo is. It's to trigger you. Let me put it back up there. Yeah, this is a tool. This is a triggering tool. Oh my God. Is that him? Yeah, that's him. That's the child killer. Possibly. Oh, yeah, they're definitely corrupt. I do have some examples of corruption. Hey, Jill, what's up? Hey, what's up, Ruckus? How you doing? Coach Kev's True Crime Talks. His beard is the giveaway to me. Want to see nuts? Look at Ted Kaczynski. Also, clean hands and fingernails. Oh, that's very, very interesting. Let's see. Let's zoom in on them. Oh, yeah, those are well kept, huh? They're not all bloody or anything. Usually people who are suffering from anxiety, like they'll like chew on their fingers. That's how I was in high school. Oh, man, I would have felt this goddamn test. Chewing on my thumbnail. Oh, another thing is, does his hair seem a little bit curly. What if when they seen him muddy and bloody, he didn't have his hat on and his hair was like long and it was kind of curly? Because when he's playing pool, if you catch him from like that angle, the right light and everything, like he does look like a younger person. Everybody has like their good side, whether you know it or not. I am surprised that there is even plastic bag in the trash can in this picture. Well, he's like in an office, it looks like. Maybe like an interview room for when your attorneys show up. Your mom. Anyone watched Locked Up Abroad? He thinks this is bad. It could be much worse. Well, the thing is, if what he's saying is true, yeah, that's awful. And 50% of it is legal. So, and I'm going to assume that he's about 60% lying. So that means that whatever they're doing at the prison, they're still 10% in the green. They can still fuck with him about 10% more, you know, and still be in the confinements. Kate List, Inquisitor said Cass County. What'd they just say? We just watched it. Angela, hello. Coach Kev, I think he's trying to look less like BG. If anything, he's looking more like him. Jennifer says, I don't care about the conditions he's in, but the taxpayer should not be paying more for the lawyers to travel that far. Okay, let's jump into this conversation. Let's see here. I pulled some items for discussion. Where to start? Let's see. Okay, here we go. So this is from the Los Angeles Times. I pulled about 5 or 6 articles. Okay. This looks like published September 1st, 2022. A Superior Court judge declared a mistrial Wednesday in a case against a man facing life in prison because the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department kept him in jail cells without beds or blankets for 2 nights. See, now something like that is different. And civil rights issues or human rights issues are not the leading cause of a mistrial in the United States. This is not just like focused on Indiana, but I did pull some stuff directly from Indiana. Unmasked says it's Cass County, not Carroll. Tobe tends to have on his watch. Yeah. That's what I do, Bobby. That's a good point. Whenever anyone feels sorry for him, think about those girls. I mean, nobody wants to see an innocent man go to prison. You know, it's got to be without a shadow of a doubt. Give me a second. Yes. Hello? I was like, thought I heard you. Love you, baby. Thank you. All right, let me see what else I got here. Yeah, I don't know. But you got to be specific. Because usually if I say I do know, I'll put it on the screen for you. Or at least tell you why I feel that way. Ruckus says he's not being mistreated. Well, I mean, on my standards, yeah, but I think you should be mistreated in prison. Being sent to prison is mistreatment. But is he unlawfully being treated unlawfully or abused? No. And if he came, I think if they transferred him, I don't know, it's not going to be that much different. Sorry, I'm not going to eat this in front of you guys. Sorry about that. I was about to start munching. I apologize. Okay, this is from the Ocala Star, ocala.com. Inmate who claimed he was mistreated at Marion County Jail transferred to a state prison. These aren't like to prove a point or anything. These are just kind of like conversation starters. December 2021, an inmate who claimed he was harassed while at Marion County Jail while awaiting trial for killing a former jail employee has been transferred to a state prison to serve his time for a previous crime. Circuit Judge Lisa Herndon signed an order on December 13th that paved the way for Marquis Deshaun Williams to leave the Marion County Jail and transported to the State Department Corrections Facility where he will be held until his sentence on a robbery conviction from Marion County. Okay, they moved him for his safety. Okay, so think about this. He killed a previous employer of that jail, and then they put him in that jail. That's kind of like what they would be doing, the closer they move Richard Allen, the closer they move him to Delphi, they're putting him closer to this kind of a situation where the number of people who want to get their hands on him will increase the closer they get to Delphi. The sheriff, we don't believe that the community is in any imminent danger. I think what they meant was like a madman on the loose. I think they had reason to believe that it was targeted, maybe. And usually, when you have a targeted crime, you're not going to expect the entire public to be the next target. Hey, Rafi, intentionally starving himself before the bell is a play of desperation. I've seen this before many, many times. Wasn't there like an old mob boss who played this card and he was like walking around looking all sick and like in a wheelchair, and then they found out he was just lying? All right, let's take a look at this one, and then we'll do one more, and then we'll hang out and get out of here. Okay, let's see. What causes a mistrial? Judges can declare a mistrial for multiple reasons. The unavailability, and this is the reason I pay close attention to this paragraph. The unavailability of a person involved in court proceedings can lead to a mistrial. For instance, the judge may grant a mistrial if a jury member dies or the defendant suddenly develops a severe illness. So even though these aren't like the leading causes, so he kind of has a combination of that. He's like developing this psychosis, and then his lawyers also can't get to him. You know what I mean? It's like a two birds with one stone. So curious if his family is being kept from him. I think he's able to communicate with them on like an iPad or something. And I'm sure they visit him. They go to every court hearing whispering, I love you. Marvel says if he's found guilty, he will go to prison. He will have TV, video games, phones, tablets, library, basketball, weightlifting, free medical, 3 hours in a cot, and a roommate. I mean, it really depends. You know, that's not always the case. But yeah, I mean, he'll have amenities for sure. They won't be 5 star. I thought the same worked out till his workout video debuted. Just remember, all you convicted Richard Allen before trial, you're operating against your own self interest and cornerstone of the legitimate justice system. I don't think so, Jinx. I think you're right that if we could all get on the same page, yes. But I think Arch made a good point. He's like, we have no obligation as a free citizen to do that. He's saying he has discernment on his own. But if he wants to make any legal play on that, yeah, it has to follow these rules and these guidelines. He made a really good point. Great comment too, Jinx. Thanks. He wants to be moved to a more hospitable location. Yeah, it tells me that he's ready to wheel and deal, or he has expectations for information that he's already provided. Our country is quickly becoming a third world hell. We'll see you on channel 2, Jinx. Support with Stefa. I see the concern from the entire different view situation. We need him without psychosis so he can be competent to stand trial. He needs to go to trial. Yes. But you don't step over 2 stones to land on one. You have to prove that he's suffering from psychosis. Right now, it's just claims. It's his lawyers trying to get him moved. Yeah, I mean, it benefits them. It benefits Richard Allen's family. But in my opinion, it doesn't benefit Richard Allen. Yeah, it might be more comfortable. But honestly, they're going to be he's being tormented, and they're going to torment him there. But he's not going to be safe. You know, who knows? Maybe there's a guard in there or something that's related to one of the girls, or just feels it's his duty. You know, he might slip a little, I don't know, shiv, poison, I don't know, whatever. I don't know why people do what they do. I just know that Richard Allen is a target. And I'm more afraid of him getting Epsteined than him suffering from psychosis. Growing says, no, he's not being mistreated. We don't want this to be like the Epstein. Hey, look at that. The Epstein case for sure. Telling you. The vibration. I say move him to Cass County. McClellan says he ain't tripping about it. He says move him to Cass County. If something bad happens to him there, then it will be on his own attorney's hands. No, nothing bad can happen to him, Willow. Nothing. Not yet. Once the judge says, I sentence you to, and he slams that gavel down, I don't care if he starts beating him with the gavel afterward. Well, that might be a mistrial too. But once he gets back and everything's done and finalized, then I don't care what happens. And if he's a free man, I hope that they can present that and we can clear it up and get back to business. But I don't think that. Coach Kev says he has very solid lawyers. From what I've seen so far, 100%. They have the playbook and they're just going through it. Boom. They're all right. Let's turn the page. What's the next move? Red, he visits with them on tablet only. Melissa says, in my opinion, his weight loss and depression is because of reality hitting him. Finally, that was my opinion. Was my first opinion? Well, it wasn't my first opinion. My first opinion was, oh my god, is that him? Then I was like, wait a minute. Vincina, but it took his lawyers a long time to activate on his behalf. Not really. You know, they had time for discovery and they could file for continuance. They can do all that stuff. Yeah, but it does take some time. But I think it's normal, is what I'm saying. That's something I was telling myself this morning, Archlux. If you guys assign him these attorneys, right, and they're complaining, you need to get to the root cause of what they're asking you for and why they're asking it, Judge. You know, get to the root cause. And if they're not the right attorneys, then they're not the right attorneys. You picked them for this guy. To me, if this all gets kind of messed up or they do transfer him, to me, that's fumbling on the court's behalf. They need to stick to their guns. They made the right decision. They need to protect him, keep him safe. Karen says, look after him. I think they are. So he can be represented as a clear minded, physical, well killer. Yes. And I think that they are. Don't allow his defense attorney to control the narrative. Don't allow them to put a truth in your own mind. Don't let them paint this picture of some kind of Vietnam War POW camp where they're putting bamboo shoots up his fingernails. That's not what's going on. He's not eating. That's on him. And I'm sure they probably have to force him to eat sometimes. I'm not sure how that happens. I'm not sure what they have to do. But people are probably screaming at him at night. You know, nobody's treating him with any respect. Why should they? But as far as being kept in humanitarian conditions, 100% I believe that he is. Don't be manipulated. And that's why these attorneys are good, because it's a jury of people just like us, you know, and we can be manipulated. Look at this photo. Oh my God, it's a sick puppy. Not guilty. Ma'am, can you tell us why you voted not guilty? Did you see the puppy? It was starving. Ma'am, what puppy? I don't know. They had a photo of a puppy. They got me. Turquoise kitten, hello. What about the girls? They didn't get humane treatment. Exactly. They lived out a real life horror movie. Like in reality. I don't know if you've ever like just cut your finger really bad. It's horrific. And the fear that they felt from going from the best times of your life. You're young, you're vain, you're searching for freedom and understanding in life. You're going through puberty. You're doing all this crazy stuff is happening. It's like this magical time in your life. And here comes these people perpetrating a horror movie in real life on these girls. And yes, he's innocent until proven guilty, but they think they have a lot of evidence that he's part of what happened to them. Forgive me if it's hard for me to find some sympathy for the guy. Maybe I'm not a good person. I don't know. Support with Steffa says, at Ray Jones, the people need to realize the incompetency to stand trial is a reality. Another thing that's a reality, though, is proving that somebody's incompetent. We need to start there first. Let's not go to the reality part. Let's focus on, is he incompetent? We need like tons of professionals to step in and make that decision or give us some input or feedback on that matter. Not his attorneys, not the people from court, not me, first and foremost. And definitely, if you're not a professional, nobody in this chat room. So he has to be declared, I guess. Here are so sympathetic of him. I don't think they're sympathetic of him, Marbles. I think they're sympathetic of the rules. Some people have the ability to place themselves in other people's positions, and they wouldn't like it if they were innocent and in prison and under the conditions that are being claimed. So some people, they don't look at things that way, and that's fine. It doesn't mean you're better or worse. It's just that some people look at the world through different eyes and they consider different things than others. That's why we have to learn to communicate. Oh, here comes Graham. We got Graham's important. I like Graham. My Graham would have said he looks like the wreck of the Hesperus. What's that? Am I saying that right? Hesperus. My grandma would say he looks like he's been rode hard and put away wet. Rode hard and put away wet. It's a good one. Why not just move him and give them no excuse? Well, when do you draw the line? If they move him and then something bad happens to him, now the argument is, how could we let this happen? How did we let somebody get to him? You know, if you keep making mistakes, it's the butterfly effect. Stick with your guns. There's a reason that they put him there. It was for his security. I mean, it says it right here in the motion filed. Emergency motion to modify safekeeping. So the reason that he's in the conditions, and they're not going to allow his rights, his human rights, to be violated. There's no way they're going to. He's in this facility so that he can be monitored and that nobody can get to him. When you take him out of this facility, guess what you open him up to? The very things that they were trying to protect him from, which is the same thing that most of you are arguing for, which is so that he can stand trial healthy. Yeah, and if he is really having medical issues, he needs to receive treatment. But he has to be diagnosed. And I'm not going to be doing any diagnosis on this channel. I'm not qualified for that. I have like an 8th grade reading level. I'm basically a chubby 8-year-old. KD is the bomb is a reference to a company, KD Enterprise. Yeah, I saw those videos you put out, Rafi. I thought those were interesting. You did send me on quite a bit of a rabbit hole through all of these, what was it? Haunted houses and shit. I don't dismiss all your stuff, dude. I keep an open mind. Shout out to Ruckus from Kate List. Snarky says, heck yeah. Starting with the montage of BG walking on the bridge, feet going forward and backwards at the same time, all orchestrated by ISP. See, how are you going to go to that conspiracy? Like, how did you get there? I feel like you were like, have you ever seen those fighter jets when the pilot ejects? Those fighter planes? Yeah, the fighter jets, and they're like, oh shit, I'm going down. Then they eject. I feel like at some point that's what happened. You like ejected and you're like somewhere like floating. And you could be right. Like, I don't dismiss a conspiracy. I love a good conspiracy. And I know that it's not unrealistic to think that a group of grown men can get together in secrecy and come up with some evil shit. I don't dismiss that. A lot of people do. I myself don't. But how do you get there is the question. You know, I'm not I'm done taking these giant leaps. It's been a real waste of time. If I can't hold it in my hand, you're not going to see a commitment from me. Jari, or muddy and bloody could be a complete lie. See, Jari is making a great point. The reason she's making a great point is because the person who we believe is the witness, shortly before becoming a witness, could, if this is the right person, was arrested for attempted murder with the witness who said he saw what she did and that she even attempted to go in reverse and run this person over. Now, if this is the witness, the day that they announced, this was the second presser where they announced the old bridge guy sketch, is the same day that her file was destroyed. See, so now the truth is, Richard Allen's defense most likely already knows this, if that is the case, and they'll just have to throw that part out, is what I'm thinking. Inadmissible. But yeah, there's some shady shit there. And you can go look it up on my case. The day they announced it, earlier that morning, her file was destroyed. And it says it right there. File destroyed. So yeah, see, Jari's making a comment, muddy and bloody could be a complete lie. And there's actually things to support what she's saying. And if you're saying something crazy, I would love to get behind you, and support what you're saying. I just need to have something tangible. That's all. I won't call you a liar. I won't say that you're wrong. Brown Skittle, what up? People say he looks like a cancer victim. Looks more to me like an ex-alcoholic who stopped drinking 12 beers a day. Yeah, it could be. He just looks like a guilty person realizing all of his work, all of his fears. They've come to life. What's that saying? Something like the chickens come home to roost, or the hen, something. I know one of you guys know it. The hens come home to roost, or something along those lines. Hey, Jamie, I see fear too. Yep, that's what I see in his eyes. Prelude to an insanity plea. Or even just going for a mistrial. Because under those conditions, apparently the likelihood increases. Availability and an illness. So if anything, you could buy him a whole lot of time. Jill says they have mental health. See the inmates if they need it. Yeah, you guys, this is like an actual facility. They're not just throwing these guys in like a dog kennel. They have treatment. There's people watching them. People that come in there and they're going to talk to Richard Allen. They're going to be like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" Hey, Shauna. Oh yeah, that's a horrible video. Makes my stomach queasy. Remember, he's innocent until proven guilty, and he deserves due process. He's not an inmate. Inmates are convicted. He's a pretrial detainee as of right now. I can't believe Sleuth Intuition is talking like this. Like what? It's not any of our places to pass judgment. He'll have his day in court. We don't know all of the evidence. Yep. But me personally, I think he's guilty. I think he's and the only reason I think that is just by the confidence I see in McClelland. Just all the officers and everybody that was involved. They're confident. and they're being careful about something. What's up, Cupcake? Hello, chat. He does look sickly, but no, I don't think they're mistreating him. Who knows these days, though? Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not pampering him, you know? What's up, Frank? Melissa, you're not feeling good? Yeah, I'm all stuffed up, but it's from allergies. Hope you feel better. Thanks, V. Pasquale Flanger. I like that. Innocent until proven guilty. Anyone that is awaiting trial should be placed in the best possible conditions. If he's guilty for this crime, then treat him like an animal. Yeah, that's a good point. But the only reason he's in that facility, it's not about treatment. Well, I mean, it is about treatment, but it's not about conditions. They're putting him there for his safety. But he has access to everything that he needs. Shauna says maybe he is truly ill, like cancer or something. They didn't say anything. Kate Liss says he's on hunger strike. Better be careful. They should move him and NG tube him. He will be in similar conditions at Cass County. Yeah, what is this NG tube? Is this where they feed people who refuse to eat? What is that? Is it like an IV or something they actually like shove like a milkshake down your throat or something? And I say milkshake loosely. I use that term loosely. Okay. So probably finished up with this. This is from, or this is titled 5 Common Reasons for a Mistrial. Michelle says, I hope the judge doesn't get suckered. Yes, innocent until or if proven guilty. But this pick is staged to make Richard Allen look shattered, baffled, POW conditions, insults our intelligence. Didn't insult mine. I would want my lawyer to do the same. And if it's legit, he's being mistreated, or things were, his civil rights were violated or he was treated inhumanely, then maybe it should be a mistrial. But the thing is, I don't believe that these things are happening. We have to prove that it's real first, guys. Let's start there. Beach Fairy says, plus the weight loss from no more beer, stress over losing it all, and the MySpace angle. Photo from above to make him look. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Willis says, if they feel he is incompetent, they will have him evaluated by multiple psychiatrists. Yep. So I'm going to wait for them, see what they have to say. I think it's interesting that he's talking about psychosis, or was he saying he's having delusions, hallucinations? Well, yeah, he's under intense pressure and stress. I think people in solitary confinement suffer from that kind of stuff. Let's have a psyche eval completed just to be sure. I need to know he currently is not in psychosis. Yeah, that would be awful. If he had some kind of breakdown to where he did end up in like a mental facility, that'd be awful. He needs the treatment. And I do agree with that, Stefa. I just believe that he is receiving treatment if this is actually happening. What's up, Ange? Okay, so here are the top 5. Jury cannot reach a unanimous verdict. Most states require that juries vote unanimously to convict a defendant. If the jury cannot reach a unanimous decision for a guilty verdict and also do not find the defendant to be not guilty, then this will be a hung jury and the judge can declare a mistrial. This was the case in Bill Cosby's 2017 trial, and prosecutors decided to bring a second trial. See, worst case, they have a second trial. Be awful for taxpayers. But, I mean, the end game is justice, right? At all cost. Well, not at all cost. We don't want a Pyrrhic victory. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Exactly. That's why you have to know the difference between judgment and discernment. Perhaps prison issued meds are out of balance. Maybe he's not on meds. Like this is a conversation for him and his doctor. Like not his lawyers, not first it goes to the doctor and then the conversation between the doctor and the lawyers or all of them together. But I feel like they skipped the whole medical part. I feel like they're doing that a lot in America these days. It's science. It's science, bitch. Well, brace yourself for the avalanche of evidence that proves that Richard Allen isn't the BG when this goes to court. Okay. What do you mean? Are you just anticipating or are you guessing? I mean, I don't doubt that I'm going to be shocked. I'll be shocked today by what happens with this case. I was shocked yesterday, and I've been shocked multiple times. It's the I'm stressed the F outlook. Prison diet equals you either gain weight or lose weight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not getting all your amino acids. What do you expect? Rafi says, I reposted the KD Enterprise video. Oh, that was interesting. Does he use an iPad to communicate with his family? I don't know. But I did read that in an article yesterday. It's that nasty stain on his shirt. If you feel bad for him, send him some whites. He'll look fine. Yeah, go ahead and send us some t-shirts for all you Richard Allen lovers. I'm not a Richard Allen hater. Innocent till proven guilty. But in my opinion, I'm rolling with that he's involved. If you don't bathe in gel, the other inmates will beat your ass. Yeah, I mean, they got strict rules. Like, you got to know when to take a shit. You got to know when to approach certain people. Like, it has its own political game. They got to protect Richard Allen from all of that. Coach Kev says O.J. Simpson's lawyers told him not to take his arthritis meds leading up to the glove day in court, so it had no chance to fit on his gnarled hand. Yeah, that's interesting. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Damn, that rhymes. Yeah, he's right. That shit rhymes. If it doesn't fit, I mean, that's literally what they do in those campaign ad meetings. Ah, man, it does rhyme. Do they have communication logs? I'd like to see that. He's getting the same treatment as any other prisoner in his situation. Him not taking care of himself is on him. He could be eating commissary and working out. Yeah, do some push-ups. Maybe ask for some earplugs. If people are screaming at you at night. Make earplugs. Don't you have toilet paper? Do you think it took 5 months for him to detox? Outback, honestly, I think it took him 5 months to come up with this plan if it's a farce. I think he had enough time to know what his next move will be or where he wants to start leaning. If he's not, and he could be talking. He could be talking now and has an expectation. Like, hey, look, I'm cooperating. I don't need this anymore. You guys need to figure something else out. If I'm as valuable as you keep telling me I am, why am I still here? So there could be some communication going on behind the scenes as well. You didn't hear McClellan argue with it. I'll tell you that much. You heard Tobe or whoever was at the jail was complaining like we can't handle him. We can't take it. McClellan's like, I have no objection. I thought that was interesting. I saw move him. It has zero impact on the trial. He'll be under the same rules no matter where he goes. He's a high risk detainee, period. Yep, I agree with that. His lawyers are playing games with everybody. Yeah, which they should be. And hey, if they can prove he's innocent, great. Yeah, it looks like ink or something. Maybe oil from the cuffs he has. I'm not sure. I don't know if they grease those bad boys up or not. Ange Payne says, just move them. And I could see how that's difficult, like being able to get to your client. I can empathize with that. And I definitely don't want any excuses. Let's just run through these titles. I got to get out of here. The jury committed misconduct. Be number 2. Number 3, the jury was improperly drawn. Prosecutors and defense attorneys select jurors through their voir dire process and often seek to have jurors who do not have knowledge of the case. If a judge determines that either side used improper practices, yeah, that'd be messed up. That's a good reason. The jury was provided evidence it should not have had. For example, I was reading an article last week about a case. I guess the jury found out that the victim was pregnant, but early on, they were not allowed to be provided that information. But through the process, they still found out, and they kind of kept it a secret. Well, the judge found out that some of the jurors knew that the victim was pregnant, and she had thrown that out. She said, "We're not going to show that to the court. It's inadmissible. We're not going to. You can't bring that forward." But they still found out, and once the judge found out that they knew, was a mistrial. A key figure in the trial becomes unavailable. So we'll stop on this little part here. Trials can be intense and sometimes long affairs. When a key figure in the trial, such as a juror or attorney, becomes unavailable through death, severe illness, or some other cause, the judge may have no choice but to declare a mistrial. So yeah, I thought the travel distance was more concerning than all the medical stuff that was mentioned, honestly. Let's go to a couple more comments and then we gotta get out, guys. Mandy, hey, good to see you. We know whatever evidence they have against him doesn't sound like the wife had anything to do with his arrest. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think she'd be at court and all that stuff. Maybe the daughter. I haven't seen her around or heard about her being present. Maybe she came forward. Or even a neighbor. Ignoring the allegations could cause him to never stand trial, period. Pick your poison. Yeah, you can't ignore it, and you have to investigate it. You have to go through the process. 100% stuff. No, they likely can't protect him the best. But I say if his attorneys wants him in Cass County, send him there. Yeah, if McClelland has no objection, I mean, I'm hoping that he was maybe even part of this process. That'd be great. That means that they're cooperating or at least communicating. With the notoriety of this case, there are definitely cameras cover him at all times. I can't see how they would get away with mistreatment. Well, they can't. And this might even just be a ploy. Maybe they're working with McClelland to get him closer for everybody's benefit. They're most likely negotiating. I have a feeling once discovery was completed and they were able to advise Richard Allen after seeing all the evidence, they probably advised him to go ahead and start cooperating. These guys know how to manipulate how things appear to the public while still keeping it legal, you know. Ruckus says he's under 15-minute watch, Sleuth. Every 15 minutes, staff checks on him and documents what he's doing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If he is being mistreated, that's awful. But you just because his defense is claiming that or he's claiming that doesn't make it so. Yeah, I mean, he should be being mistreated. I just don't agree that he is. I think it's just a ploy, a farce, a ruse. One thing with those who mentally decline, self-care such as showering and bathing is definitely a symptom of mental health. That is a great point. So let's pull this photo back up. And I think it was who made that point about his fingernails. We're going to end on this. That is a wonderful point. Look at how clean those nails are. And did you notice he has like cuts on his hand? You see these? He has like scars. Like cut marks and shit. Could be anything. Just saying. But yeah, you think his nails would be long, would be all dirty and filthy, maybe even bloody from chewing on them. I mean, his lips don't look chapped or anything. His nose doesn't look chafed. His hair looks curly, though. Kind of, right? Maybe he is the young guy sketch after. Maybe the muddy and bloody witness saw him without his hat and all that stuff and was like, yeah, look like a younger guy with like curlyish hair. Someone brought up Alex Murdaugh losing weight, and that dude is guilty as hell. All right. Let me find a good one here. No, I don't think that the defense is lying about his conditions. They may believe him. You know, this is him reporting it to them, and they need to investigate that. If he's claiming to be in inhumane conditions, that's a big deal. But my point is that just because they say it doesn't make it so. NH Mountains, hello. Wouldn't the police have asked him at some point if that was him in the video after he admitted to being there and wearing the same clothes? He'd either say yes or no. Well, I think he was interviewed prior to the video. I want to say it was most likely the day after, maybe even the day of, when they were looking for the girls. Clean hands. I don't know. Maybe there's not even a fingernail here. Maybe he like chewed it completely off. But I think it'd be like all bloody. You know, these are his hands are very well kept. Look at how short the nails are. They even look filed and shit. clear thumbnail there. And he appears to have scars, cut marks on his hand right here. Could be from anything. Most men do. Candice Fonseca says, I honestly think he's not drinking is why he's lost a lot of weight. Yeah, that's what a few think. Could be part of it. Maybe him not eating the way he used to. But yeah, I mean, beer. I remember when I was drinking, I was gaining weight like no other. Amstel 54. This is creepy dude. V Marie, in regards to the hair, looks a bit wavy. Like, what if this is what he looked like at the time? You know, thick beard. Like, maybe we're seeing part of his beard down here. And a scarf, like, over it as well. He looks disturbed, says Karen. I have a feeling that was the point. I need you to look disturbed. Kind of gaze off into the distance over there. Yeah, he's definitely been to a hairdresser. Yeah, like he's been touched up on the side here. Get a little pluckarooski right in the center there. Got, no nose hairs. Yeah. Got filed up. Little mani petty. Good one, Carol. Good one. His lawyers are fantastic. Look at what impact this has had on people. Bravo, fella. Yeah, bravo. Bravissimo. And at least they can't say he didn't get a good defense team. I mean, they got the playbook. Kate says, yep. And we're going to end here. I'm going to risk it. I do not think they have arrested him in this case without hard evidence. And I do agree. All right, guys. Sorry if I did not get to your comments. I do apologize. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Oh. Hey, Don. Don't want to miss Don. Good to see you, Don. Panther piss. That's a good one. Federal standards that prisons have to uphold. His life may suck, but he is not being mistreated. I agree, Freckled. At least I hope not. They shouldn't be mistreating him. Golden State Killer did this ruse. Yep. Just kind of sitting there staring off into a corner in a wheelchair and just kind of like drooling. Brad says, F him. He's fish food. Oh, feed him fish heads. I don't know. That's got a lot of protein in it. I'd be happy if somebody was feeding me fish heads. Might be disgusting, but man, that's going to be good for you. Doing some push-ups and some fish heads, you'd be good. Those eyeballs, oh man, be getting all your aminos. $100%, Nora. Accessory or accomplice, it will come down to this. Yep, I think so. Um, I agree with that. There's a lot we don't know. There's, from the point of contact with Libby and Abby on that bridge, and we're still not sure why he was at that bridge. We don't know for sure if there was a connection to the Klein, to Keegan Klein. We don't know. Why was he there? Why did he commit this murder? What happened from 2:15 that day to 4 p.m.? We have no clue what happened there, but we know it was gruesome and strange. Sleuth 2 crew. Yeah, we'll keep the politics over there. Did Molly Golightly go to another platform? Molly Golightly, who's that? Michelle McNamara. She helped catch GSK. Who's GSK? She also named him Great Docuseries 2, featuring Paul Holes. He was a former cop. I like Paul Holes. It's going right over my head for some reason. GSK. He threw Keegan under the bus. Where's his PS5? Yep. He's like, I need my TV. Don says he's getting emotionally distressed by the lack of likes in the chat. Yeah, guys, I might have to put out my own little photo. A little sad face. Oh, I'm suffering from no likes. People be like, oh my gosh, Sleuth is really suffering. Did you guys see that? Let's go like this. I don't want sympathy likes. They better be legit. Vincent Gigante, 77-year-old, known as the Chin. Yeah, claimed insanity. The mob boss who pretended to be insane. That's him. The Chin. Yeah, he wore a robe to court, and he just kind of looked off into a corner, and he had his hands exactly like Richard Allen has them, like up against his stomach. Topa has crossed paths in the past with BG somewhere. Maybe CVS? All right, we're at an hour and 30 minutes, guys. I got to get out of here. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who participated in the chat. Good to see you, Cold Truth. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. I really appreciate it. I'm out of time, though, guys. Take care. Thank you so much.